There's a place deep in the woods of Denton County, Texas, where iron and timber hold more than just history. They hold secrets. A place where time seems to pause. The trees lean in to listen, and the air itself feels wrong. This is Old Alton Bridge, better known by the name that chills to the bone, Goatman Bridge. A place where history, folklore, and true terror collide. Tonight, I'll walk you through its haunted past, the horrifying legend at its center, and the disturbing accounts of those who dared to tempt fate. If you think you know the story, think again, because the Goatman is more than just a tale. He's a warning. Do you like supporting your favorite paranormal creator? Do you like plushies? Do you also worship a Leviathan lobster god known as the lorb? No? Oh, me either. But if I did, I'd grab one of these sick lorb plushie things and or keychains today. For only 10 smackers plus shipping, you can have your very own soft little piece of a meme that was spawned in my live streams by this unhinged but absolutely incredible community. It is also very much Luna and Meg approved. So grab one here at my store, check out some of the other merchandise I have like t-shirts, hoodies, blankets coming soon, and my spooky books, and so much more. Thank you guys, and now we'll switch gears yet again so you can enjoy this very creepy episode. Our story begins long before the legend ever took shape. In 1884, Old Alton Bridge was constructed as a one-lane iron truss bridge spanning Hickory Creek in Denton County. Designed by the King Iron Bridge Manufacturing Company, it connected the city of Denton with the now abandoned town of Alton. Alton, once a county seat in the mid-1800s, faded into obscurity after just a few years. It was a short-lived frontier town that saw the rise and fall of local politics before vanishing. All that remains today are a cemetery, some scattered historical records, and this rusting monument to a forgotten era. The bridge was once a critical connection between Denton and other communities, supporting wagon and later automobile traffic. It was narrow, too narrow for two cars to cross simultaneously, so drivers were instructed to honk their horns before entering. This quirk would later evolve into part of the ritual, honking, knocking, and calling out for something unseen. By the 1990s, the bridge showed its age. A modern concrete bridge was built nearby, rerouting traffic and sealing the fate of Old Alton Bridge. It was closed to vehicles in 2001 and preserved as a pedestrian crossing, serving as a historical landmark and a quiet footpath for nature enthusiasts. But as the road grew still, something ancient stirred beneath the iron. Whispers, sightings, and stories began to spread, louder, darker, and more frequent. Something was waiting. The story that gave the bridge its infamous nickname begins with tragedy and hate. According to local legend, in the 1930s, an African-American goat farmer named Oscar Washburn lived near the bridge. He was known for the quality of his livestock, his products, and the integrity of his business. Proud of his work, he posted a wooden sign on the bridge that read, "This way to the Goatman." But success in that time, in that place, came with danger. Washburn's prosperity and defiance of social norms drew the attention of local alleged members of the Ku Klux Klan. One summer night, they crossed the bridge without headlights, stalked the area, and then stormed his home. Although Washburn fought back as hard as he could, he was outnumbered. They dragged him to the bridge, tied a noose around his neck, and threw him over the side. Expecting a series of struggled gasps, they instead heard nothing. When they looked over the edge, Washburn was nowhere to be found. No splash, no thrashing, just an empty rope swaying in the breeze. Panicked, the mob returned to his property and frantically searched for him, but their efforts were ultimately fruitless. However, inside the house resided Washburn's wife and children. Unable to carry out their original mission, they instead turned their hateful energy towards his family. Although details are hazy at best, they somehow were able to lock them inside the house by barricading them, and with the strike of a flame, lit the home on fire. Within minutes, Washburn's family's screams were extinguished as the home burnt to embers. The once proud farmer, Oscar Washburn, was never seen again. However, something else, something unearthly, seemed to take his place. Witnesses soon began to report a terrifying creature lurking near the bridge. A being with the body of a man and the head of a goat, eyes glowing red, hooved feet stomping across the bridge in the dead of night. They said he was a spirit of vengeance, a soul wronged by evil, returned to punish the wicked. But not everyone agrees on the origin. Another story stretches even further back to the 1860s. During the chaos of the Civil War, a man named Jack Kendall, possibly at that time a freedman, was lynched by a group of outlaws. Upon the gruesome act, the ropes severed his head, which plunged into the waters below. Moments later, the body rose, resurrected by dark forces. Kendall, or what became of him rather, then searched and found a suitable replacement for his head. He found, severed, and then placed the head of a goat upon his neck. From that day forward, the area was considered cursed. Some believe this earlier entity fused with Oscar Washburn's spirit. Others believe the Goatman is something older still, something demonic. Whether man, myth, or monster, the Goatman's story does not end in the past. It continues to this very day. The stories began as whispers, then screams. Teenagers dared each other to visit at midnight. Couples parked nearby, only to flee in terror. Paranormal investigators brought their cameras, their meters, their courage. And still, they too ran. Some report seeing a tall, muscular figure covered in dark fur with long, twisted horns. Others described glowing red eyes staring from the tree line. Visitors hear phantom hoofbeats clattering across the wooden bridge, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, as if something is stalking them. Unseen hands tug at clothing, claw marks appear on backs, and hair stands up on end. Breaths have even been known to fog in the summer heat. One woman said she heard her name whispered in her ear, only to turn and find no one behind her. Another man found his phone camera disabled when he tried to record, and when he finally left, his footage was overwritten by static. Multiple EVPs, otherwise known as electronic voice phenomena, and what they've captured is disturbing. From growling voices saying, "Come back," to crying children, to women sobbing, and even what has sounded like a goat screaming in agony. There are many rituals to supposedly summon the Goatman, but this is one of the most infamous. Upon visiting the bridge, one must knock 3 times on the steel rails, say his name, and then wait. Some say the air changes, the temperature drops. Others say nothing happens at all until they're home. One teen reported seeing hoof prints in her driveway the next morning. Another said she was followed by a horned shadow for weeks. She'd wake up screaming. Scratches also appeared on her arms. Paranormal teams have experienced battery drains, unexplained interference, and equipment malfunctions. Some refuse to return after what they saw. There is another entity that has been seen at the bridge as well. Certainly, at this point, a lesser-known figure. The woman in white, as she is called, is a translucent figure that is sometimes seen crying beside the bridge. Some say that she's Washburn's wife, still searching for her lost children for all of eternity. When approached, she disappears, or worse, she screams in your face. And then there are the missing, visitors who have vanished. Cars have been found empty there, phones that have been left recording, but with no sign of their owners, and footprints that stop in the middle of the bridge. Whether Goatman or a ghost, something lurks there, and this something does not want to be disturbed. While the legend terrifies, real events near the bridge have raised deeper concerns. In 2018, a 17-year-old named Lamont Stowers Jones was found dead near the bridge. The official ruling was accidental drowning, but many in the community weren't exactly convinced. The case drew media attention, with some pointing to the bridge's history of violence. In 2023, another man, Alan Wilson, was found shot to death in the gravel lot near the bridge. His murder remains unsolved. To many, these modern tragedies echo the past. Whether supernatural or symbolic, the bridge has become a place where death lingers, and yet people still come. Paranormal TV shows like Ghost Adventures and BuzzFeed Unsolved have featured the bridge, with some of their team members leaving shaken, leaving with voices captured on tape, and figures seen in the shadows, and the feeling of a heavy presence pressing down on their chests. Ghost tours now include the bridge on their nightly routes, and locals warn not to go there alone. And fair warning, it seems as though local authorities have increased their patrols of the area, especially around Halloween. Despite or because of its reputation, Goatman's Bridge has become one of the most haunted locations in Texas, and allegedly, the Goatman is more active than ever. So what is the Goatman? A tormented spirit? A vengeful ghost? A demon summoned by occult rituals? Some believe that it could be a tulpa, or a manifestation of belief itself, shaped by decades of fear and storytelling. Others think it's a warning left by the past, a reminder of atrocities that must not be forgotten. Local legends say the Goatman only harms those who come with hate in their hearts, that his vengeance is specific, targeted, and moral. Others believe that he or it has no rules, only rage. But whether rooted in justice, voodoo, or hell itself, the Goatman is allegedly more than myth. It is a presence, a predator, a protector, and it is watching. So now that you know the supposed truth, would you cross the bridge? Would you knock 3 times? Would you speak his name? Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this exploration into real-life horror, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you visited Goatman's Bridge? If so, what did you see? How did it make you feel? And if you do ever find yourself in Denton County, think twice before stepping onto that bridge, because the Goatman just might be watching. As always, guys, I appreciate you. I tried a little bit of a different approach on this video, so if you enjoyed it, definitely leave it a like, subscribe, and share it around. All those things help me out tremendously. And if you'd like to further support the channel, consider becoming a patron over on Patreon or a channel member, and you'll get some extra content as well as all my content ad-free either way. And or you can check out my store where I sell my books and merchandise shown here. And I'll also link these down below in the description. I always appreciate your guys' patience and support. I know sometimes it takes me a while to get content out, but there's just a lot of stuff going on in the background. And I know you guys understand, and for that I am truly grateful. But we're here, we're back at it, we're pushing forward. So just so you know, I'm doing decent. We're working through the chaos. But yeah, if there is a story that you'd like covered that I haven't covered yet, also definitely let me know down below in the comments. I did also want to give a big shout out to Jason, who requested this video and or topic. I hope I did the story justice, my friend. And thank you for not only watching, but for taking the time. I can't remember exactly if you recommended Goatman Bridge in the comments or the Discord or both, but yeah, either way, thank you. And speaking of Discord, you guys should definitely join if you haven't already. It is completely free, and I'll put the link on screen now as well as in the description below. There you can talk to me and other members of this wonderful community. So yeah, we always have a great time, so you should hop in there. This has been Cody here at Mystery Archives. Remember to please stay safe out there from Goatman and demons and, well, anything that really goes bump in the night. And I'll see you next time. Take care.